Discord on this computer. Okay. All right, I'm recording.
Okay. So I did it about halfway through, only halfway through the foundations.
Questions.
Yes, the blue.
I got up to 73, 70, something in there.
I'm just
so much.
I know. I'm just starting that page.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you see what the? Let me go grab your back. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right. So there was the thing that what's your face posted about the blueprints layout.
Yeah. Scout.
Yeah. With the like 9 questions on informatics and documentation, and then like vital signs, bowel elimination, urinary elimination, mobility help. Like so, like I'm like, well, that kind of helps a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's only one question about skin integrity.
I know, and I'm like, but we talked about that so much that.
Yeah. That makes sense because there was like 17 questions on the last exam about that.
Yeah.
Well,
let's just run through the questions.
Do you wanna start from the other side? Like start from kind of like informatics and documentation then?
Yeah.
Really reach there.
Mm-hmm. So let's go through that, and then we can run through kind of the first. I have a paper that I did that had like stuff because I didn't want to type it all up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but I'm a little confused. So I just don't quite understand what the difference is between like clinical judgment and clinical decision making. And I'm just like, what's the difference?
So I think clinical judgment is the before of decision making. So like clinical judgment is the things that you would kind of teeter back and forth with deciding, and then the clinical decision making is what you would do.
Okay.
And then clinical like critical thinking is what you're using through all of it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I guess.
They're kind of all just one big ball.
Yeah, I might see if there's like a better explanation I can find on YouTube because I don't understand how Lisa explains it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So let's start with documentation informatics, which is the whole last page. Yeah, so I got up through question 75. Okay, and then again, I haven't even done the farm.
Want to start at 77 then?
Sure. And then Monday, I know we have to do the where we have to do that validation, which is either going to be the indwelling or straight catheter. Yeah. Well, because remember that's on Monday. We were given a little sticky notes with our times.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. So is that one of those where again we get 3 chances to do it?
I think she said we do.
Okay.
I think she said it's like every other validation, except what I was thinking was, I don't know, man, that burnt my tongue. It was like boiling. That was hot. I don't know if we are going to be doing the same one that we failed, or if we're going to have to draw a new one when we revalidate.
That's true. I feel like it'd be the same one though.
Yeah,
I'm not worried. I'm not quite so worried about it. I just, again, I'm going to record myself talking me through it. Yep. I'm going to remind myself about sterile, and then I'm going to just do it. And I'm going to listen to it 20 million times.
Yeah.
Because I think Oh, I think that was the thing that helped me the most, because then like I could remember, where's my water bottle? I could remember what I told myself to remember.
Yeah, I feel good about trait care.
Yeah, trait care was fine.
So it's really
Trait
just like catheters and then
yeah. Well, I just, again, for me, it's just sterile. So worried about sterile.
chapter is informatics. Is that the beginning chapters?
The informatics, that's chapter 26.
26.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I need more space on this table. All right. Oh, so I was gonna hold on real quick. I don't need that. No, don't leave the meeting. Okay, can't minimize that. Let's see. Okay, so
Identify the purposes of a healthcare record.
okay. Well, purpose of a healthcare record is to write down what was done for a person and to document what you did, and if anything happens, to cover your butt. Um, so it's here. It's I said 26.
It's on page 388.
Thank you. It's like I know what you need, why you need to have a healthcare record. You need to have it because it documents all the information about them. So like what medications they're on, what you've given them, what you've done for them, what happened to them. So did they have a good or bad reaction? All right, so let's start with this. So, oh, come on. Fuck.
Okay. Yep, and then it says healthcare documentation consists of all information entered into a health record, which may be electronic, paper, or a combination of both formats. Nursing documentation systems should reflect current standards of nursing practice to minimize risk of errors. Like, I don't know, this is all like good.
It's pretty obvious stuff. Like it's all the information that's been done for them. It's got to be easily retrievable. Quality of care delivered, quality of care. It also helps for reimbursement. All the care provided, assessments done, data, track your health history.
Oh, it says the next one was identify ways to maintain confidentiality with a healthcare record.
Yeah. So like you only log in with your password. You don't ever share with anyone else. You close the screen down if you're going to walk away from it.
And information is only to be shared with people who on a need to know basis.
Yes. So 78. So lock the screen, passwords. Need to know basis. So like the way we were always taught was to ask like, what's the bare minimum of information that you need to know to get this done, was how we would always ask, like, what is the minimum I can tell you? And then the only exception to that is without a release or guardian consent is emergency personnel. So EMTs, policemen, firemen. In that case, you tell them everything that's relevant. And even if it might not be relevant, you still tell them anyways, because it could come up later. So, but that's the only time is that. Oh, firewalls too. Firewalls to protect computers. And then so let's see. Analysis of healthcare record.
It says that record is an ongoing, current, and accurate account of the patient's healthcare
Yes.
status to all members of the healthcare team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if you're doing research, you have to make it non-identifiable.
Mm-hmm. So HIPAA.
Yes. In HIPAA, yeah. So health information, how do you, I forget what it stands for. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. I have to take a test on this every year.
Mm-hmm. I really feel pretty good about
consent. Yeah. Well, I just want to go over it just to make sure that like.
Oh yeah. No. Let's do it. Why will it not let me?
Oh wait, guidelines for quality documentation. So it's 80, 81. So factual, make sure it's factual, make sure it's accurate. Appropriate abbreviations. I don't, yeah.
They're probably gonna ask questions like for the identifies ways to maintain confidentiality. They're gonna be like, this person did this, and this person did this. Was that allowed? Was that legal?
Mm-hmm.
Or was that maintaining confidentiality?
Right. Or it could be one of those like you are doing a research paper. What information do you need to hide?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it would be like name, birthday, location.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, yeah, not like the name of the birthday. The age is probably okay, but like the location again. Not the diagnosis because that's one of the research things. Current, yeah, okay.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Oh, and then use fax machine. Like here's another thing. So you have to verify if you're sending a fax, you have to verify the fax number before you send a fax. And then when you send a fax, you actually have to send a cover letter with it. So you can't just send the information, you have to send a cover letter first. So when you pick it up, it's covered, so you can't see it. So factual, accurate, abbreviations, current. So it's got to be, what happened now? Organized and complete.
Yes.
So talk about everything. If you think you covered enough, add more. That's been my rule of thumb. If you think you covered enough, add more. All right.
Do more. Yes.
And then 82, 83, different types of forms. So there's flow sheets, progress notes, which are narrative.
What it was the flow sheets?
Yeah, I put flow sheets, organized, but which are organized by body system and is a series of tabs and rows. So that's the clicky. So you just click and you click and you click and you click and you click. The narrative documentation is progress notes, just anything. So you write. So you write like I did this with this and this.
Name, date, and time, everything. Hang on 1 second.
Name, date, time, everything.
sorry. She had to go to the bathroom.
Okay. And then on page 398, it's got some more stuff. So like there's the narrative notes, which are the progress notes. So this is what I did and this is what happened. And then there's the problem intervention, then there's PI, which is problem intervention evaluation. And then there's DAR, which is data, action, response. And that is for like to report problems. So like addressing patient concerns such as a sign, symptom, condition, diagnosis, behavior, significant event, or change in condition.
Okay.
All right, and then there's SOAP.
Oh yes.
So subjective, shut up phone, objective, assessment, plan. 398. All right. So, and we're still on kind of the different forms of nurses using documentation. So that's format. So how are you doing it? Are you doing it in a note? Are you doing it in a PI? Are you doing it in a DAR? Are you doing it in a SOAP?
Okay.
All right. And then there is the admission forms.
Mm-hmm.
So like head to toe assessment and health history. History and assessment to ID problems. All right, and then there's patient care summary. Which has basic info, their normal.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you see the whole section that said guidelines for written and electronic documentation? Did you see that whole chart in the book?
The guidelines for, hold on, I didn't get to that. Where's that at?
It's table 26.1, but the number 80 and 81 were explain the guidelines for quality documentation, and it's that whole table. Okay, I didn't know if you had seen that.
No.
Okay, table 26.1. Okay.
Table, hold on, that's box, that's figure.
It's on page 389.
Okay, I'm too far. Sorry,
I just found that and I was like, oh, I should share.
Oh, it's different. It's a different page for me. It's not me. Legal guideline. This is legal guidelines for documentation. 26.1. You said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's slightly different page, but yeah.
Yep, and then the two were just guidelines for quality documentation. Record all facts, correct errors promptly, do not document retaliatory or critical comments about the patient, do not enter personal opinions, document discussions with providers that you had.
Yeah, because remember, Lisa was telling us about how she documented that one case where the guy swore at her, and so she called the supervisor and had a basket of roses and an apology.
Yes, and then it says document only for yourself. Avoid using generalized empty phrases such as status unchanged or had a good day. Begin each entry with date and time and end with your signature and credentials.
Don't use general phrases.
Protect the security of your password for documentation. Do not leave blank spaces or lines in a written nurse's progress notes. Do not erase or scratch out errors. These are more for written ones.
Write legibly. No. Hey, you've seen my writing.
I've seen your writing. Record all written entries legibly using black ink.
Black or blue. Blue is okay, but it's not preferred. Fun story. I don't attend the staff meetings at work because they're on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. and I'm not doing it. And so they were running through like, what do we need to improve? And the manager was like, everybody's got to improve their handwriting and try to write more legibly. And then somebody said, except for Katie, because we know that's not going to change. And everybody who's worked with me kind of laughed because they've all seen my handwriting. And then one of the new staff is like, hey, she is not here to defend herself. You don't got to be mean to her about her handwriting. And Laura turned to her and is like, she herself will be the first to say her handwriting is illegible.
That is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
They all just know you.
Yeah, they do. They know it's not going to happen. They know it's not going to be better. All right.
Okay,
All
I
right.
just wanted to touch on that while I saw that.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. All right. And then different forms of nursing documentation, different forms. Okay, so there's a patient care summary, there's care plans.
Yep.
Fuck. Stupid pen. Stupid pen. Care plans. That's the NANDA, right? The there's that, I don't know. Hold on. Safe and consistent care. Yeah, so it's safe and assistant. So safe and consistent care for an identified problem by describing or listing agency standards and evidence-based guidelines that are easily accessible. So it's you identify, so like this patient is at risk of falling because of muscle atrophy as evidenced by history of falls.
Yes.
So that would be something.
And North American Nursing Diagnosis Association.
Sure. Oh, and then discharge forms.
Mm-hmm.
So
my notebook about discharge.
It starts when you're admitted.
Yes, it starts when you are admitted. Maybe that's what I wrote down.
Okay. Coordinate what kind of care they're going to need when they leave.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're going. Where they go. How they get there. So, what support devices will they need? Involve the.
I wrote down in my notebook, page 392, 11 bullet points.
392. Yeah.
That was the electronic health records are expected to have the following attributes. Okay.
So it's provide a longitudinal or lifetime patient record, contain the problem list that indicates current problems, number of occurrences, and status of each problem. Use standardized measures to evaluate, record health status, provide a method for documentation, and the clinical reasoning or rationale for diagnosis and conclusions that allow for clinical decision making to be tracked by all providers, support confidentiality, privacy, provide continuous care, support links to local or remote information resources, support the use of decision and analysis tools, support direct entry of patients by providers, include mechanism for measuring costs, support existing and evolving clinical needs.
Okay. And remember, TO is over the phone orders and VO is verbal in-person orders.
All right, I did not remember that. So hold on. So it's 84 over phone and then VO in person.
VO is in-person.
So TO is telephone.
Yep.
VO is voice, is
like
verbal. I was gonna say voice to voice to voice. I guess I know what I mean. Yes. I know what I mean. So just remember the TO is telephone.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then elements needed to include in documentation is hold on. Okay. Okay.
Here we are. Only authorized staff receive and record telephone and verbal orders. Clearly identify the patient's name, room number, and diagnosis.
Okay, so
use clarification questions. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
so I'm writing this down.
I know I gotta switch notebooks really quick because my other one ran out of paper.
I'm almost there. I've got like 12 pages left, maybe. So you said the patient, identify the patient, the room number, the diagnosis.
Yeah, room number, diagnosis, patient name. Hold on, I'm gonna write.
Okay. Clarify and ask questions. Document it was TO. Read back.
Yes, the read back. You cannot forget that.
Okay. 2 signatures.
Of like witnessing that.
Yeah, so you need some, it just says some agencies require TOs and VOs to be reviewed and signed by 2 nurses. So like if you take a thing over the phone, you may also need another nurse there to say like, yes, I saw her having this conversation with the provider. And I heard from her end, her verifying all this information.
Yep.
And then the provider must sign within a reasonable time frame.
Okay.
So like normally it's within 24 hours, but I've known it to be as short as 8 hours. It's like if they give a verbal order over the phone at like 2 a.m. and they come in at like 10 a.m., they have to be there and sign it as soon as they get in. Okay. Discuss the relationship between informatics and high quality healthcare.
So what is informatics?
Can
you break that down for me?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. To finish this. Okay. Okay. So informatics is 1 second. I know what it is. I just don't know how to describe it. Informatics is a study of computational systems, especially for data storage and retrieval. So
okay.
Here, so thank you.
Okay, what was the question? And then what's the difference between informatics and high quality healthcare?
Discuss the relationship between informatics and high quality healthcare. So so it's computerized provider entry orders, electronic medical health records. So for example, I'm not going to write this down because I get it now that I've read that. So like computer provider ordered entry, it helps eliminate the medication errors because you don't have to try and read their handwriting. It also helps because you have where like if you're trying to pass medication, then it will if you're trying to pass a medication, it'll tell you whether or not this is a good medication to pass.
Yes. It will send out those little warnings.
Yes, it'll tell you, be like, I don't know if you want to do this. And it'll caution you if the dose is abnormally high as well, or if there's going to be a medication it's going to react adversely with, or if there's like a pregnancy risk or something. So you can make sure that you're, yes, I still want to pass this, or oh no, that's not the medication I meant to pass. It also helps with charting and documentation, so you know, like, oh hey, I've got a very short window to pass this med.
Here it also says the use of information and technology to communicate, manage knowledge, mitigate errors, support decision making, and outlines specific knowledge, skills, and attitudes that nursing students need to learn to use informatics technology to provide patient care in an effective and safe manner. There it is. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna highlight that. For some reason, it won't let me keep up the Zoom and
it
highlight
says,
in the book.
It's weird. I don't know why it's not letting you do that. You can't share the screen or anything.
No,
I think it's because I'm recording it.
Oh yeah, because it wouldn't let me like just do it with the small page. I have to make a large page to highlight it.
Yeah, I don't know why I see that. Maybe you can't minimize the screen. Could you can shrink the screen. So if you go to the side of the screen and you move the arrow, you can make the screen smaller.
Yeah, that's all right. I just
have
full screen it to highlight.
Not you. This thing is saying recording remaining meeting time. I have 7 minutes left to record it. I don't know why.
Oh yeah. Do you have like the subscription?
No, I don't.
I don't either, but it won't let you. It like times out after like 30 minutes.
Okay. 30? Well, then we'll just get the rest of these questions and we can just be like, well, this is what we did for information documentics.
Okay, perfect.
Information documentics. I messed those. You know what I meant.
That sounds good to me.
All right. I don't care. I don't want this. Isn't there like a school option, like a student option for this? All right, so we'll just get through the rest of these. So, but yeah, so it like helps eliminate error. It also helps you do the assessments and document the care that you have provided. So remember how you documented when if they had an IV or a port or a wound or anything, you could document where it was. Yes.
It's more efficient.
And
have more time.
Yes, and less confusion.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, we finished information documentics.
All right. So I will end this meeting and then I will start another one. Okay. And we can go over the let's go over the oxygenation and managing patient care because those are two. Yep. All right. So we'll just do this in sections. All right. End meeting.